Starting your Lock or natural hair journey is oh so rewarding, but can be extremely stressful when you start to consider what products to use. If that's you, then look no further. Locklicious is a Black-owned company that has created an all-natural product line for locked and loose natural crowns. The Locklicious team works hard to ensure that their products are free of parabens, phthalates, sulfates, PEG, synthetics, and other toxic chemicals you find in other products. Best of all, the products are lightweight and will not leave residue or cause buildup. Go to locklicious.com to start treating your crown like royalty.
So they have a detective by the name of Omar Abdullah. You know, he is a Raleigh Police Department detective, and this guy had paid an informant by the name of Dennis Williams Jr. to provide officers with information about local heroin dealers, but reportedly brought forward cases that were full of holes. Now, let me go ahead and roll this clip, and we'll be back to talk about it.
Confirming the news tonight in an email, Detective Omar Abdullah was terminated from the Raleigh Police Department on October 28, 2021. The 12-year RPD veteran fired 1 month after the city agreed to pay $2 million to 15 men who alleged in a federal lawsuit that Abdullah and other officers worked with a criminal informant to frame them with fake heroin, landing the men in the Wake jail for months with high-dollar bonds.
Well, Joel, I think I speak for the community at large. I think we were relieved.
Raleigh Police Reform Advocate Kimberly McTarian tonight reacting to the news of Abdullah's termination. RPD not releasing any detail outlining exactly why the detective was fired. McTarian sees it as a potential turning point in the fight for more police accountability.
I think for advocates, we've always wanted. This is something we've dreamt. So for them, I still believe that this is not a reality that they commonly see.
Wake County District Attorney Lauren Freeman faced heated public pressure to criminally charge Abdullah.
We're out here pussyfooting around topics and whatnot when the reality is it's real in the field right now.
On news that Abdullah was fired, we asked Freeman tonight about any potential charges for the detective. Not at this time, she said. The matter remains open with our office.
Are you satisfied? Is this the resolution you were hoping for?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Robin Mills' son Marcus Van Irvin was arrested by Abdullah for bogus heroin, initially jailed on a $450,000 bond. She's frustrated with the lack of transparent answers on how this happened, wants to know why more officers aren't being held to account, and says Abdullah's firing and the civil settlement is not enough.
They did what they needed to do from a civil perspective, but now we're talking about criminal. And there's no way the kidnapping of over a dozen black men is not criminal.
Now, as you heard that clip, which is despicable, I said some of the evidence included videos and audio recordings of drug buys with critical clips missing and a substance that lab tests revealed months later wasn't drugs at all. Even as going as far as planting some fake dope himself, it said the lawsuit also claimed. Now, according to attorneys representing the plaintiffs, the men served a combined 2.5 years in jail, as you heard, before their charges were dismissed, among many other negative impacts on their personal lives. In some cases, men continued to linger in jail for months after lab tests proved that the supposed heroin was sugar. So they found out it was sugar and they still kept him in jail. Now, they also reported that one man identified in the suit, Curtis Logan, was arrested on January 2nd, 2020. Although the supposed 20 grams of heroin, it was claimed he sold for $400 instead of the street value of $2,000, turned out to be sugar when tested 6 weeks later. They said Logan wasn't released from jail until June the 1st. They said many plaintiffs lost their jobs, missed birthdays and funerals. They said others had their homes and children investigated by a CPS, and others were unable to continue to pay their bills while they was forced to move during the COVID-19 pandemic. As they read a letter from the group's attorneys. Okay, Tim Fulton, Walker, and Owen, written to Raleigh Police Department Chief Estella Patterson and Wake County District Attorney Lauren Freeman. Now, I say all were traumatized because their wrongful detention, incarceration, and the fabricated allegations against them. They say the RPD Vice Unit's actions also resulted in the unlawful detention of numerous women and children and at least one illegal SWAT raid of a family's home. Now, neither Abdullah or any other Raleigh officer have been charged in the scandal, and that's not sitting well with, many people in the community. Okay. So they had this one parent, said they was unsatisfied with the outcome. And of course you're unsatisfied with the outcome because the district attorney said that nothing basically is going to happen at all. Now, the district attorney said the office isn't ready to pursue charges. So you mean to tell me you have a cop that have a crooked informant planting dope on people, planting sugar on people, right? Getting them locked up. Think about it. You're in jail for 2.5 years and you didn't even go to court. That's the same thing that happened to Khalif Browder up there in New York. When they put that young brother in Rikers Island, all that time without even going to court. How do you even do that? How is that even legal to do that? But they make sure to do that to black men because they can get away with it. Even when you go out and run and break your neck for the donkey party, they don't do nothing about that. Even when they get a majority in a state, even they win a majority in the city, and they can actually end it tomorrow. I always tell y'all that donkey party, when you're always talking about that Republican, the donkeys, they're worse because they supposed to be your friend, right? And they do nothing to end it. In the same donkey cities, do they end police brutality, corruption? No, they do nothing for you. That's not but a stroke of a pen to stop a lot of that stuff or prosecute. Now that DA needs to go. How is you set up there? No, that is criminal what that detective did. It's extremely criminal. But guess what ended up happening with that situation, right? So guess who went to jail? I want you to know who went to jail. The informant, the one that was doing all the dirt, he was being paid to do, went to jail. I always told y'all in the black community, be careful with certain people that you see commit a lot of crimes and all of a sudden they're always out of jail. Why are they always out of jail? They've been arrested 100 times and they always back out. Why are they always back out? What dirt are you doing for the race soldiers? With not because a lot of times y'all related to snitching, but sometimes they got them in those communities trying to plant evidence on people, trying to do dirt. That's why they always out. Y'all better be hip to that. You see the dude committing all kind of crimes and he never go to jail. He always out. Okay, y'all be real careful with that. But leave me a comment. Let me know anything about this particular story here. This is sick. But see, this is what they do to black people, and this system is not going to change, ladies and gentlemen. It's not. This is why I talk about the things I talk about setting yourself up somewhere else, because the system here is what it is, and we don't have enough people in our community that's willing to change it. Because we could. But you don't want to because you got too many black folks, especially those who are politicians. They're comfortable. They just want their check. They ain't worried about nobody else. Thank you for watching, and make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and check out the African Diaspora News Channel app in the Google Play and Apple App Store. Colonization never ended in the white supremacist system. And as we see today, the colonization is in the mind. Now, those who have been enslaved and those who have been colonized, we're still dealing with the remnants of that through the colonization of the mind. Pick up my book, 7 Steps to Decolonize the Mind, and we will help deprogram you from the colonization that was put upon you by generations and generations of white supremacy. You can pick it up today on Amazon.com.